There are days, weeks, and sometimes even months where your desire to do something productive is barely existent. There is a possibility that you're having a depression episode, but most likely you aren't. Because you're not sad, you're just not feeling compelled enough to get up and do stuff. Stuff that maybe not today, but surely in the future will contribute to a better life for you, or maybe even for your family and society. And to properly understand the reasons and solutions to this problem, we need to have a better understanding of the underlying processes that are taking place when we talk about motivation. If you're hungry, it's not just a simple drive that's pushing you to get something to eat. It's more of a sub-personality that has a goal. It has a bunch of action patterns related to that particular goal, and it organizes your emotional responses around that goal. We can look at it from another perspective. We could say that motivation sets goals and emotions track progress towards goals. Generally speaking, motivation determines what your aim is. So if you're thirsty, you're going to aim at something to drink, and it will automatically alter your perception so you zero out everything that is not relevant to that goal. Once you start to focus on the few things that will guide you forward, your emotions start to track your progress. So when you encounter those things that facilitate your movement forward, that produces positive emotions. On the other hand, when you encounter some kind of threat or blockage between you and your goal, that produces negative emotions, and that can be anger, disappointment, grief, and so on. And if you experience some of the more powerful negative emotions like pain, for example, that can cause you to abandon your goal and turn back. So why is it so hard to get up and do stuff? And it might be that you just don't have any goals. It might be that you're aiming at nothing. So no aim equals no emotions, which equals no neurochemical fuel to keep you going. Your case might not be exactly the same, but it is a pretty accurate scenario. And you might ask, how do you fix that? Well, you need to sit down and set your goals. See, if you observe a starving rat in a cage and it knows it has food at the end of the corridor, if you put a little spring attached to his tail, you can measure the rat's motivation by measuring how hard the rat pulls. You can measure the displacement of the spring, and it will give you a quantization of the motivational force of the rat. What's more interesting is if you set up the same scenario with the rat trying to get to some food, and you spray some cat odor behind it, the starving rat would pull even harder. Because it is starving and he really wants to get the hell away from there. So getting away and getting somewhere are two distinct motivational systems, and if you can combine them together, then you can make a really powerful motivational force. And you can start by sitting down and writing your perfect future, and also the possible hell you want to avoid. Let's say, for example, you're not motivated to work out. You can start by imagining how perfect and healthy your body would be if you only started to work out for 30 minutes a day. You can then imagine the clothes fitting you perfectly, your posture, your health, stamina, etc. You can write everything down. You can write about the positive mood and outlook on life you adopted since you started to work out. Then imagine the opposite. Imagine you being overweight, your IQ dropped because you didn't exercise or had optimal body weight, so naturally your IQ decreased as you aged. Imagine going to the doctor and he's telling you that you have an increased chance of heart attack. Imagine feeling anxious and depressed without any self-confidence or motivation, stuck being overweight forever. And that's a pretty terrifying future as far as I can tell. Then once you do this, you can sit down and negotiate with yourself. You can ask yourself, what would you want in return if you would work out for 30 minutes a day for the next week? And that can be a walk in the park, a beer with your friends, playing video games, like whatever gets you excited, and then agree on that contract with yourself. This reward combined with the visualization of the ideal future and possible hell is going to produce a high level of motivation and drive to get you started on fixing the dimensions of your life that need to be fixed. Now, you have the knowledge. You know how emotions and goals contribute to your motivation. You know techniques to combine two distinct motivational systems, and you know that you need to negotiate instead of punishing or tyrannizing yourself. So my advice is, do the visualization, write your goals, get up and do stuff. Because if we all get our act together collectively, then maybe we can make this world just a little bit better for all of us.